The car shuddered to a stop on the dirt road, kicking up a small cloud of dust. Trees loomed on every side, dark and dense, their branches clawing at the sky. My dad turned to us, forcing a smile. "All right, everyone, this is it. Home for the next few days." Mom helped my little sister Emma out of the car, making sure she had her jacket zipped. She held my hand tightly, like we both needed a lifeline in the unfamiliar cold of the forest. The campsite wasn't fancy, just a clearing by a small creek, a circle of dirt surrounded by towering pines. But it was ours, at least for now. We unpacked silently, the kind of quiet that comes with anticipation, both excitement and unease. Dad started collecting firewood. He hummed something under his breath, trying to keep his voice light, normal. Mom unpacked food and set up the tent, trying to keep the rhythm going to make it feel like a regular trip. But I noticed her eyes kept darting toward the tree line. "They're just trees," Dad said when he caught her looking too long. "Nothing to worry about." But the forest didn't stay quiet. Not long after the fire was lit, a sound reached us. A voice. "Dad?" We froze. Dad's head snapped toward the tree line. "I'm right here," he called out, his voice firm. "Dad." The voice repeated, softer this time, closer. Dad frowned, looking around. "Emma, stay close. Nolan, stay with me." I could feel Mom's hand tighten around mine. The voice came again, not from the tree line, not from the direction we were looking, just somewhere inside the air around us. It was unmistakably Dad's voice. "Come over here. Help me." Dad's face drained of color. He took a step forward. "Stay back. Don't move." We watched as he started toward the sound. At first it seemed like a joke, a trick of the wind. But then the forest shifted. A shadow, elongated and wrong, moved behind a tree. Dad paused. His eyes widened. "Hello?" he called again. And then he vanished. One moment he was there, walking carefully toward the voice, and the next, the forest was empty. No footprints, no disturbance. Just a whisper of wind and the echo of his last words. "Help me!" Mom screamed and ran toward the tree line, calling his name. Emma clung to me, shaking. "Nolan." "What's happening?" she whispered. I didn't know. I didn't understand. But as we backed away from where Dad had disappeared, another voice drifted toward us, soft, familiar, his tone almost perfect. "Come on, it's okay." And somewhere deep in the forest we realized we weren't alone. Mom's voice cracked as she called out Dad's name. "Michael, Nolan, please." Emma clung to my arm, shaking so badly I could feel her teeth chatter. The forest seemed to swallow our screams. For a moment, the wind itself seemed to whisper, carrying Dad's voice back to us, distorted. "Come here. It's fine." Mom froze mid-step. She stared into the shadows, eyes wide with horror. "That's not him," she whispered. It's not him." The sun had begun to sink behind the trees, the sky bleeding red into the horizon. Shadows stretched unnaturally, twisting over roots and trunks. The forest seemed to lean closer with each passing second. Emma whimpered, "I hear it." Mom grabbed both of us and pulled us toward the small creek, trying to put some distance between us and whatever was out there. "Stay close, don't answer it, don't look back." But the forest wouldn't let us go. A voice drifted from the trees behind us. It was Dad's voice again, soft, coaxing, almost gentle. "Come on, it's okay." Emma's small hand slipped from mine as she froze, staring toward the forest. Her lips trembled, forming words she didn't speak aloud, trying to call back the voice. Mom shouted, "Emma, stop it, don't listen!" It was too late. From behind a thick stand of pines, the shape of Dad emerged, or what looked like him. The figure's movements were just a little off, too slow, too stiff. Its head tilted at the wrong angle. Its smile was too wide, too sharp. "Dad?" I whispered. The figure mimicked the sound of our father's voice perfectly. "I'm here. Come help me," Mom screamed, lunging forward. But the shadow jerked its head, and in the blink of an eye, Dad was gone again. Just gone. No trace. Emma screamed in terror, clutching my shirt. "It took him." Mom wrapped her arms around us, sobbing. "We have to get out. We have to stay together. We cannot let it separate us." But the forest wasn't done. Another voice, soft whining, coming from the direction Dad had disappeared. This one sounded almost like me, a whisper I recognized too late. Help me, Nolan. I swallowed hard. My heart pounded in my chest. My mind screamed that I should run, I should fight, I should grab Emma and never stop moving. Mom took my hand, her grip iron strong. We're leaving now. Stay with me. The forest seemed to pulse around us, shadows stretching like hands, whispering every lost voice it had learned. Every step we took, the whispers followed, always closer. And in the distance, we could hear Dad calling again. But it wasn't really him. It couldn't be. It was something else, something learning, and it was hungry. The forest had grown dark now, the sun long gone behind the thick canopy. The whispering voices had multiplied. Shadows twisted unnaturally between the trees, and the air felt heavier with every step we took. Mom kept Emma and me close, her hands gripping ours as though sheer force could keep the forest from swallowing us. But her voice trembled. "We can make it through," she said, though I could hear the doubt in her tone. "We just have to stay together." A low rustling came from behind, a soft, deliberate snapping of a branch. Mom spun, eyes wide. Don't look back," she shouted, trying to keep calm. But the creature knew how to break us. A voice called from the shadows, perfectly mimicking Dad's tone. "Mom, it's okay, come to me." Her eyes locked on the sound. She froze. Every instinct screamed danger, but something deeper, something primal, seemed to tug at her. The figure slowly emerged from the trees, tall, impossibly thin, its limbs bending in unnatural ways, face stretched into a grotesque imitation of Dad's. Mom gasped, a sound of disbelief and horror, and a step forward. "Don't!" I yelled, but it was too late. 1 second she was there, calling for us to run, reaching for our hands. The next, she was gone. No scream, no struggle, just emptiness where she had been standing. Emma screamed, clutching my leg. Her small body shook with terror. "Mom! Mom!" I grabbed her hand and ran, moving as fast as my legs would carry us. Behind us, the forest was alive. Branches cracked, leaves rustled, and whispers layered over themselves. Mom's voice, Dad's voice, my voice, taunting, coaxing, calling. The creature was hunting. It mimicked them perfectly, calling to us in the tones we trusted, hoping we'd stop, hoping we'd turn, hoping we'd fall into its trap. Emma tripped, and I yanked her up, dragging her through the underbrush. My chest burned, my lungs ached, but the forest didn't let up. Then I heard it. Not a voice this time, but a low, inhuman growl coming from the shadows behind a thick stand of trees. The forest seemed to part around it. Its shape was impossible, tall, limbs bending at wrong angles, jaw opening wider than it should. The smell hit me, cold, metallic, like blood and rot. It had learned from each one it took. Dad, Mom, and now it wanted me. I ran blindly, branches whipping at my face, roots catching at my feet. Emma screamed again, and I spun to pull her up, but the forest was shifting. The voices were everywhere, overlapping, echoing. Every familiar sound was twisted into a lure. Somehow we made it to a small clearing. A faint light from the moon revealed a creek bed. My feet sank in mud, water spraying as we stumbled forward. I glanced back. The creature stood at the edge of the tree line, watching, its head tilted at an impossible angle, the shadows around it twitching. Alive. It didn't move forward. It didn't need to. The lure of voices it carried was enough to paralyze us with fear. Emma clung to me, sobbing. It has Mom. It has Dad." I nodded, swallowing the panic. I know, but we're not stopping. We're getting out of this forest. We have to survive." The creature's growl rippled through the air. Then it faded into silence, watching, waiting, patient, and I knew it would never give up. The forest had grown colder, darker, as if the trees themselves were leaning in to watch. Emma clung to my hand, tiny and trembling, trying to keep up as we stumbled through roots and thick underbrush. "Stay close," I whispered, my voice barely carrying over the soft rustling of the leaves. "We just keep moving. Don't look back." but the creature had already learned how to manipulate fear. From somewhere in the shadows, a whisper drifted, her own voice. "Nolan, I'm scared. Help me." Emma froze mid-step, staring toward the tree line. Her small hands slipped from mine. "Emma!" I shouted, grabbing her arm. She struggled to pull free, her eyes wide with terror, and then I saw it. A figure stepped into the clearing, thin, tall, too tall, limbs bending at wrong angles, its head tilted inhumanly, and its face, it was Emma, not really Emma. Her skin looked pale, stretched unnaturally, her expression frozen in a twisted mockery of fear, and from her lips came Emma's voice, calling to me, "Come, come help me." I lunged forward, but my foot caught a root, and I fell hard into the dirt. By the time I scrambled to my feet, the creature had already taken her. 1 second she was there, trembling and real. The next, gone. All that remained was a whisper carried on the cold wind. "Don't come!" I screamed. I ran through the clearing, calling her name. The forest was silent, except for the soft echo of her last cry, twisted and warped by the shadows. I collapsed near the creek, gasping, tears burning my eyes. The forest seemed impossibly vast now, each tree a dark sentinel watching me. I was alone. Dad was gone. Mom was gone. And now Emma. Creature didn't need to chase me yet. The loneliness, the fear, the sound of voices in my head. It was doing its work already. I realized then, the forest wasn't just hunting bodies. It was hunting minds. And mine was next. The forest pressed in on me like a living thing. Every shadow seemed to stretch toward me. Every rustle of leaves carried whispers. Dad, Mom, Emma, mocking me, calling me, begging me. I ran blindly, branches tearing at my clothes and skin. My lungs burned, and my legs screamed with every step, but I didn't stop. I couldn't stop. Behind me, a low, wet sound grew, something moving faster than it should, limbs bending wrong, scraping across the ground with an inhuman rhythm. I glanced back. The creature emerged from the trees, taller than any man should be, elongated arms stretching unnaturally, its head tilted, twisting impossibly, and it mimicked my father's voice. "Nolan, come here. It's okay." No. I pushed harder. My hands clawed at mud and roots. The creek I had stumbled over earlier shimmered in the moonlight. I plunged into the icy water, water splashing over my legs, breaking the creature's line of sight for a moment. It shrieked. Not a human shriek. Something that layered the voices of my family into a guttural, horrifying cry. I scrambled onto the other side of the creek and didn't look back. The forest seemed endless, but my fear gave me speed. Branches whipped at my face, mud coated my shoes, and every step brought me closer to the edge, the faint outline of the dirt road I'd glimpsed days before. The creature followed, but cautiously. It didn't cross the water. It didn't chase me into the open. It was patient, hungry, waiting for me to tire. Finally, I saw it, a break in the trees, pale moonlight spilling over the road. I stumbled onto the dirt path, gasping for air. My body shook uncontrollably, every muscle screaming, but I ran straight into the road, away from the forest, away from the whispers. The creature paused at the edge, shadows rippling across its impossible limbs. It let out a single low guttural wail, my mother's, my father's, Emma's, layered into a sound that would haunt me forever. And then it slipped back into the forest. I didn't stop. I didn't look back. I ran until the trees thinned completely, until the sounds of the forest faded into nothing but the distant hum of civilization. When I finally reached a highway, I collapsed, exhausted, bleeding, and trembling. Cars passed by, headlights cutting across my face, people unaware of what lurked just beyond the tree line. Safe, ordinary people. I was alive, but I wasn't okay. The forest didn't just take my family, it had taken something from me. Every shadow, every whisper, every night since, I can still hear it, the voices, the calling. And I know somewhere out there it waits, patient, hungry, learning, and one day it will call again.